From the local station, the 10 o'clock news starts now.
New tonight, our cameras take you to Bradford County, where dozens of homes are flooded, and one man is taking it upon himself to help.
Yes, you're blessed when you can come help them. Hopefully one day if you need help, they'll come help you.
In Duval County, it's all about cleanup, from Ocean Way to the north side.
We've lost everything in the house, even the walls are buckling.
And down to St. Johns County in Nocatee. We continue to find new areas every day that have been devastated by Hurricane Irma. And for some, it could be months before their homes or businesses really get back to normal.
Tonight, President Trump's disaster declaration expanded to include all counties in Northeast Florida. Our crews are spread out from Jacksonville's north side to Bradford County, which is where several people are still trapped in their homes near Sampson Lake. Channel 4's Corley Peel got a look at the area from a swamp buggy. Joining us live, Corley.
Mary, the swamp buggy was basically the only way we could get through the flooded waters. The waters in some of the areas of the county reached up to about waist deep. Now, the sheriff's office asked the man driving the buggy to help with water rescues during the flood, and from the devastation we saw, it was unbelievable. For the past few days, Bill Wilson and his swamp buggy, a.k.a. the Yellow Jacket, have been rescuing people trapped inside their homes from flooding caused by Irma.
They had went to sleep thinking that they were going to be able to get out the next day, and then they were not able to. The water had rose overnight so much that their vehicles wouldn't allow them.
You can see this water we're driving through is about 3 to 5 feet, so the only way people can get out of their homes is by a vehicle like this swamp buggy. Wilson says on Tuesday he drove to an elderly couple's house where the husband had suffered from a stroke. He says when he got to the home, no one was there. But 2 days later, he found out where his wife went.
Come to find out this morning that I found the lady, and she was able 2 days ago to get him out of here on her own with a canoe.
Wilson says it's hard seeing the homes destroyed by high water in the county he grew up in.
It hurts, but it's a part of life if you're going to live here. If you choose to live here, then that's what you have to deal with.
He says he's just glad he and the Yellow Jacket can keep his community safe. Now, I spoke with people living in those neighborhoods, and coming up at 11, I'll tell you why they think the county isn't doing enough to fix those flooding issues. Reporting live from Bradford County, Corley Peel, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Corley. There are still thousands of people waiting to get their power back on in our area. We just looked up the latest numbers. FPL still has about 56,000 outages in our area. Clay Electric is working to restore power to 34,000 customers. JEA still has 60,000 customers without power. Schools in several counties will remain closed through tomorrow. They are Clay, Duval, and St. Johns counties, along with Alachua, Union, Glenn, Putnam, Flagler, Ware, Bradford, and Columbia counties. Covering Jacksonville's north side, people living along Ribault Scenic Drive may be some of the hardest hit by Hurricane Irma. Yeah, take a look at a photo that was taken Monday. You're going to see floodwaters more than 4 feet deep that just poured into people's homes. Channel 4's Eric Avignon is joining us live. Eric, some of the people there got at least some good news and some help this afternoon.
Well, Ken, Jacksonville police, fire, and even a local church came through here earlier today to deliver food, water, and hope to flood victims who say that Hurricane Irma basically destroyed everything they owned. This is what parts of Ribault Scenic Drive looked like a couple of days ago. Several feet of water flooding homes and ruining lives of people who live here. The water has receded, but the damage is bad.
Is it safe to say that you guys have lost pretty much everything?
We've lost everything. We've lost everything.
Here inside this living room, water is still saturating this carpet. In fact, the owner tells me that when he and his wife came home, they found water levels up to this outlet.
Trying to clear it out.
Then the couple opened the refrigerator to show us a foot of flood water that was still inside. The Harnage family, like so many others on this block, say they lost everything. With no electricity, they took advantage of daylight to move soaked furniture outside.
It was while they were moving furniture that Jacksonville police and firefighters came by to drop off food and water to them and others on this block.
It was a big relief, especially with the bottles of water, because we've been going through water like crazy, trying to stay hydrated.
It was surreal. I mean, I got tears in my eyes seeing, you know, people just handing things out to us and helping us. I mean, I never thought we'd be in this position to need help.
Next door neighbor Deidre Gibson says it feels good to know they were not forgotten.
They brought MREs, they brought water. The mayor has been out, toured all the way through my house to see all the damage.
Now, power to this area was just restored a few hours ago, but many people who were flood victims along this road will not be able to turn anything on because those electrical outlets are still saturated with water. Reporting live from the north side, Eric Avanier, Channel 4, the local station.
Covering St. Johns County, more people are returning home to check on damage in one Crescent Beach neighborhood that was hit by a tornado. We have video of the Summer House Beach condos off A1A. This is from our Sky 4 helicopter, and just take a look at that. This is St. Johns County. You can still see debris everywhere. Some units that lost their roofs are now covered with blue tarps. One woman told Channel 4's Vic Nicoloucci she's just heartbroken. Her family's condo is destroyed.
I actually learned how to walk in here too, so it's a little heartbreaking to see, but you can't even get through. We had to have a neighbor bring us through in their truck, so.
Electricity?
No, nothing.
Residents say they expect it to be at least a year before things are back to normal there. Also in St. Johns County, our cameras were in Nocatee today where people were cleaning up from the storm. We saw piles of debris just lined up along the streets, some trees that were still down after Irma. Some people also suffered damage to the roofs of their homes.
Covering Duval County, people who work at the Wells Fargo building downtown say they're not sure when they're going to be able to return there. Our video from Sky 4's helicopter today shows the dark building there, right? The property manager has been telling tenants the basement of the building was badly damaged by flooding, and at this point there isn't any power. Eric spoke to a woman who has seen that damage. See that story coming up at News4Jax at 11.
Now to the Riverside area where there are people still without power who are essentially stuck in high rises. There are 48 people sticking it out at the Broadview Towers in Riverside right now. They don't have air conditioning, lights. They can't use the elevator. Many of the people who live here are elderly, but the manager says people have had good attitudes.
We've had good response from our people. Yeah. You know, they've all understood. Everybody's hot, and they're all willing to pitch in.
The lobby there flooded, and so did the elevators. We're also told that many cars in their garage were destroyed.
Today, we got a look at how badly Irma hit the northern Duval County neighborhood of Ocean Way. Joy is here with a look at some of the damage, and some of these photos really grab you, Joy.
Kent, there are two pictures in particular shared with us by people who live on Blue Whale Way near the River City Marketplace. They say their neighborhood turned into a small river. Look at these photos. Just how high the water rose after Irma. Car almost covered this house, the water rising there. They say most homes saw 8 inches of water. While we were there this afternoon, we saw people hauling out to the curb carpets, furniture, and other items that were damaged.
Said that she got out of bed and was up to her ankles in water. But it looks like I had about 6 inches in the house. I had close to a foot in the garage. And I don't know what the difference was, but I had a foot there.
Devastating.
Yeah, it really is. Luckily, I think we're covered with all the insurance we need. We're trying to dry it out with carpet cleaner as much as we can. It doesn't stink as much as it did. It doesn't squish when you walk through the house now, so we're working on it.
It doesn't squish. Neighbors say they're just not used to seeing flooding there. Look how high this flood water is here compared to this truck. They're speculating about what caused this. Some say it could be bad drainage. Others blame new developments being built around the area they say are making it more vulnerable to flooding. Kent?
Thank you, Joy. And today we sent the Sky 4 helicopter back to Black Creek in Clay County to check on the storm recovery there. You can see homes damaged, docks destroyed. At one point, our helicopter spotted a boat washed up on shore right there. A number of residents say that they're still facing both flooding and power outages, but the water has begun to slowly recede.
And tonight we're learning that efforts made to prevent sewage spills during Hurricane Irma helped but did not prevent spills. JEA added 230 additional backup generators to keep the power at lift stations, which appears to have made a difference. During Irma, power was lost to 13 lift stations and 1.5 million gallons of sewage overflowed. That's compared to the 10 million gallons that spilled during Hurricane Matthew. JEA is collecting samples in the nearby waterways and neighborhoods to get a reading of the environmental impact.
And members of Congress are fighting for their constituents and asking for assistance. Al Lawson represents a large portion of Jacksonville with several other U.S. representatives. He wants Governor Scott to consider federal food assistance options to help hurricane victims. That includes increasing the number of food packages for food banks and adjusting who's eligible for food stamps.
Then hot meals are extremely important, you know, and we don't want people to get turned back on food stamps that really go in to try to get a hot meal, because a hot meal is needed. And we would need to extend the benefits. Not only benefits for SNAP comes in at the end of the month, but we want that step that up so they get SNAP benefits right now. And so those are some of the things that we learned from other hurricanes.
In a letter to the state capitol, Lawson and 10 other congressional Democrats thank Governor Scott for his preparation and support during the hurricane. Hear more from Congressman Lawson this Sunday at 9 on This Week in Jacksonville. News for Jackson, First Coast News. We're teaming together to keep First Coast strong. Strength is in numbers.
Individually, our TV stations do so much good, but combining our efforts makes it great. Use the hashtag First Coast Strong on your social media posts. We're all one community, and in moments of need, we lay our competition aside and work together for our friends and families, our neighbors, and our local businesses. Together, we can make a difference to make First Coast strong.
Seeking relief from the heat and from the lack of power.
The prime spot that's opened up to help storm victims recharge.
The commander-in-chief heading to South Florida to survey the damage left in Irma.